Hey everyone, just waiting a few more minutes until we get started here. If you're on now, go ahead and rename your Zoom with your organization or your state or whomever you're representing, just so we can kind of have an idea of where we're all located. Just click on the three little dots and then click on rename. Great to see so many of you here on this lovely Wednesday. I mean, Wednesday. That's how my brain is. Monday. I'm thinking 2 days ahead and acting 3 days behind. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started because I've got a lot to cover today. As always, we'll just kind of start off with real quick name and introductions, just who you are, and what organization you are working for, and then maybe just how long you've been using the portal. So I'm just going to kind of go through the list as I see it on my screen. It might just kind of hop around a little bit, but we'll go ahead and start off with Dr. Welk in Iowa.
All right, hi there. So yeah, I'm Greg Welk, a professor here at Iowa State, and I've been working with the portal maybe on my second year, if that's right, Serena. I won't have Nick to help me as much anymore. Nick took a job with University of Nebraska Kearney, so I'm retooling my team, but we're doing good things and looking forward to continuing.
Great, awesome. And Caitlin.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Caitlin Gurney. I'm the intervention coordinator at the New York State Department of Health Arthritis Program. And I want to say we've been using the portal for about 2 years or so, maybe a little less than that.
Great. Thanks, Caitlin. How about Margaret?
Hey there, I just joined, so tell me what we're doing here.
Oh, okay. Just your name, where you're from, and how long you've been using the portal.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Hi, my name is Margaret Chaikin. I'm joining from Washington State Department of Health. And we have been using the portal, I believe, since last February. And we started that with our employee health program, which has been a huge success. And we're expanding to our school. Our school is our OSPI. So I forget what this Office of something, public instruction. So very excited for that.
That is awesome. Great. Mona.
Hi, yes. Good morning. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am with Virginia Department of Health. I'm the Arthritis Program Coordinator within the Health Department. And so I have been using the portal for, let's say, actively, I'm using the portal for now 5 months, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thanks, Mona. Adam.
Hello, Adam Birch, New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services. And I think we've been using the portal for 2 years and that we're going into our 3rd year with the portal.
Great. Thanks, Adam. Allison.
Hi, I'm Allison Harris with OSU Extension, and we've only been live in the portal a few months at this point.
Yeah, great. Becky.
Hello, I'm Becky Adams from the Department of Health in Arkansas, and I supervise the program manager for the arthritis program within my section. That position's recently vacant, so I am filling in until that position is filled. And I believe, I'm not sure exactly how long it's been since we went live. I know we've been working on it for a while, so I would say within the last year.
Great, thanks, Becky. Let's see, Georgie.
Hi, my name is Georgie. I'm with the Minnesota Department of Health. I'm actually new, so this is my first week. I'm just sitting in on this meeting.
Oh, great. Welcome. Jasmine.
Hello, Jasmine from the Rhode Island Department of Health. We've been using the portal now for 2 years. I'm going into the third year, I believe, this fall/winter.
Yeah, great. Let's see, we've got Julie from my office.
Hi everyone, I'm Julie. Sorry, I didn't realize my camera was on. I am from the Osteoarthritis Action Alliance, and I've just been working with Serena for a couple of months and sitting in on a few projects. So I wanted to meet you all and kind of see what today would be about. It's nice to meet you.
Jenny.
Hi, my name is Jenny Kirkley. I am the director of the Population Health Evaluation Center. We work with evaluation for the Better Choices, Better Health program in South Dakota. And I'm going to let Nikki from our team talk about our relationship with the portal.
Yeah, sure. Nikki, we'll just hop to you then.
Perfect. I'm Nikki Presh with SDSU Extension in South Dakota. We purchased the license last fall, but officially started using the portal within the last few months. I think May. I was trying to think for sure our first session, but I think it was May.
Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah. Karen.
Hi, Karen Leinbach with Oklahoma State Department of Health. We've had the portal for a couple of years. We're just kind of working now on implementing it a little bit more throughout the state of Oklahoma with other partners.
Yep, great. And Kimberly.
Hi, I'm Kimberly. I'm at the North Carolina Center for Health and Wellness, and I believe we've been using the portal for about 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. Michael.
Hi, Michael Dunn at the South Dakota State University Population Health Evaluation Center, working under Jenny and with Nikki with Better Choices, Better Health South Dakota.
Great. And Nadia?
Hey everyone, my name is Nadia Maza. I manage the CDC Arthritis Grant in North Carolina. And I work with Kimberly, and I think she was spot on in saying 2 to 3 years. I know at least 2, maybe 3.
Great. And let's see, Shay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shay Kelly from the New York State Department of Health. I'm the new arthritis program manager. So I only have about a month and a half experience with it. But as Caitlin said, New York has been using it for about 2 years.
Great. Thanks. And let's see, Renee.
Good morning. My name is Renee Kidney, and I'm working with the Minnesota Department of Health. I am the epidemiologist and working to support evaluation at this point in time. And yeah, I personally have been working with the portal for probably about the last 6 months, but our program more in the ballpark of a year and change.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Great. And I think, let's see, I've got Kirsten on the line from the OA Action Alliance.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Or good noon, I guess, for some of us. Good to see a lot of familiar faces and some new faces. We're always grateful to all of you for participating with us and working with us to make this a better product.
Yep, absolutely. I think I got everyone. Did I miss anyone? Okay. Well, thank you all for those introductions. I know that a lot of us are familiar with each other from other calls, from this call, et cetera. But I do like to just cruise through introductions just as a reminder of, who everyone is and how long they've been using it, because I think that's one of the blessings of this group is that we all have kind of different levels of experience, different amounts of time we've been using the portal. And I think that's really helpful in helping us kind of bounce some ideas off of each other. So I'm going to go ahead and launch into the announcements from the OA Action Alliance. And this is primarily centered around updates that have come through in the past couple months since the last time we met. And then I will kind of go into a little bit about what we're working on right now. And then I've got a list of kind of ongoing ideas or wish list items. And so if you have anything to add to that, I'd be happy to hear. And then I definitely want to give some time to all of you if you have any kind of big wins or hot news, things that have really been going well for you with the portal, or things maybe like you're just going to be launching with you know, a new group or something. We'd love to hear about that. Or if you're having any challenges and you want to know if any other groups have come up against that same challenge and maybe have some ideas. So I am going to primarily show you the updates using the slide deck that has been updated. It's the portal partner directions that you all should have, but I'll also put a copy of it in the chat as well. But I want to go through it that way, just so I can kind of point out some pieces easier than having to kind of log in and log out on both the administrative side of things and the participant view of things. So first and foremost, the clarifying the steps for completing registration. As you all know, the registration process in the portal is kind of, it's a two / 3 step process. So the first step is where people actually enter their mailing address, select the group that they're joining, create their login for the portal and their password, and select their book type. So that's kind of step one. And what was happening was that people were completing that step and not going on to the next step, which is the actual registration questions, the baseline questions. And if they don't go on to step 2 and complete the questions, then they're not really registered, because that second step is what actually triggers the book to be sent to them, or in the case of a digital book, the book to be kind of put into their portal. So, you know, some people were thinking that they were registered and they were not. So I want to show you what we've done to kind of clarify that. Basically, if you are in, once you have this slide deck, you'll be able to see this. So we added kind of this highlighted step-by-step. So each time they go through this step, it will move to, okay, this is step 1. And then when they get to the questions, it'll be step 2. And then step 3 is kind of that important next steps, which looks a little bit like this. So it's kind of that final welcome. And so we're hoping that by having that, you know, spelled out kind of in a different color, it's almost like a progress bar that we hope people are used to when they're doing kind of these online surveys or forms. So I'm hoping that you'll see in your portal more people completing the registration, and less people who have started it and not yet completed it. And just a reminder, you can see the start and complete date on the users table in your administrative feature. The next thing is that we re-added the videos. So this is something that we are going to be kind of continuously enhancing. So right now they're kind of in the center of each week. And just as a reminder, these are the videos that South Dakota State, Oregon State, and University of Delaware worked on together. the cooperative extension groups. They worked on and did these really nice videos in partnership with the Arthritis Foundation. And they really highlight some of the lecturette material and highlights of each week of the program. So I think it's a really nice complement to those who maybe don't enjoy reading the chapters quite as much, but really want that more interactive piece of a video. So those are now added back into the portal for each participant. We do know that there may be groups that want to add kind of more customized pictures or different videos, maybe that are targeting different, different demographics, different kind of participants, whether it's like from an employer perspective. And so we hope that in the future, each of you will be able to customize which videos and which images you have in your portals. But right now, I just wanted to let you know that those videos are back in there. They are embedded, so people should be able to just click on the play button and not have to like open it into another window or anything unless they want to. And then just a reminder that it is mobile friendly, so they will be able to watch this on their tablet or their smartphone. The next thing is the allowing a longer word limit for the group details. So as many of you know, when you are going through the third step of the setup process where you're defining your groups here, there was a limit on how many characters you could have in that name, and we've now made it much longer. So you can, create a better description of, whatever that group is. So if you have like housing site 1, and then you wanted to add, starting, October 1st, you would now have enough characters there to make that, that title more descriptive. The next thing is the Spanish portal. So these last two updates are kind of the ones that are going to take a little bit longer for me to go through. But I'm going to get through all of them, and then as many questions as you have about all the updates, just kind of throw them at me at the end. So the Spanish portal is now available for your use. We do only have the digital books available at this point. And that really was for a couple reasons. First and foremost, the Arthritis Foundation does not print enough of the Camina con Gusto books to allow for a discount. So each book, I think, is $11.95, and there's no bulk purchasing discount. And so with the cost of shipping and handling, each of the print books would have been about $20. And so we really felt like that was kind of cost prohibitive for many of us, including us at the OA Action Alliance. We also heard that it can be kind of a bit of a barrier to registration to collect mailing addresses from the Spanish-speaking population. If a mailing address is required, they just might not even go through the registration at all. So by removing that option right now and just having the digital option, we feel like it's kind of removing that possible barrier. Now we know that many of you will need county information or zip code information. So that is being added to the metrics so that when you go through your step number 2, setting up your questions for your baseline survey, you can add in zip code and county. If you need city as well, we can add that as well. into that. So you can at least have those important metrics when you're collecting that. So you can see here, this is a screenshot of step 3 in your administrative portal. Again, these are just kind of your book inventory, the print books, the digital books, and then Spanish digital books. So you'll go through setting up your Spanish groups, much like you do the English. But you will need to make sure that you select that they are a Spanish group. So if you're going to have kind of your rolling group, if you're only offering Spanish, that would be your one and only rolling group, and you can make that Spanish. Most of you, it will be down here as an additional group. So you can see right here, I have, this is an example from the OA Action Alliance. So I have Camina con Gusto, and I have a limit set up that matched the number of digital books that I have. I have selected that they are Spanish, and I have selected for them to pull from that Spanish inventory, pull from there. So once you have that all set up and you click on submit in the bottom, that will make that group live. Now, here's the thing. You are only going to see the Spanish group in the Spanish portal. So right now, if someone gets to the English portal, they're not going to see the Spanish option. We're working on adding a button. So if somehow, someone comes to the English portal and they want to switch to Spanish, they'll be able to click a button and go to the Spanish portal. But for right now, once you've set up your Spanish group, you will have to send all those people, like if you're doing marketing, if you're working with an organization that does outreach to Spanish speaking populations, you'll want to make sure that they have the URL for your Spanish portal. So you might be saying, how do I know what my URL is? And I have it noted right here, see slide 10 for that information. That information is actually back in step 1, where you will see that underneath where you upload the logo, there are basically 2 different sets of URLs. There's your English URL right here. So if you're ever trying to remember what your URL is, you just go here and you can see it. So this is the example for the OA Action Alliance. Ours is startwalkwiththese.org/OAAA. And then in Spanish, the URL is essentially the same, except it says !culture=ES. Okay, so that is the Spanish URL. We are working on getting another vanity URL similar to startwalkwiththese.org. So will be something in Spanish.org. And then so you will just be able to have that new URL / and then your kind of your path, your like for us, it's OAAA. So that is where you will need to start. And if you put this URL into your browser, it should take you to your Spanish website or your Spanish portal. If for some reason it's not taking you there, it could be due to your cookies and all your stored cache in your browser. So if you clear your cache or use a different browser than you typically use when accessing the portal, you shouldn't have a problem coming up with that URL right there. So if you're interested in beginning to use the Spanish portal, let us know how many books you would like to purchase. It's the same process for the digital books in English. So you would just go through us, let us know, if you need a quote or anything from us in order to purchase your Spanish books. And then we can add them into your inventory and you can begin promoting it using this URL that you find in step 1. We are going to be working on putting together some, templates for marketing. We'll probably do some social media examples and maybe some flyer examples. We just don't have those quite ready yet. We're also just kind of, as an aside, we are developing some educational pages on our website, specifically about OA, but they will all be in Spanish. So if those are something you want to utilize in addition to promoting your Spanish portal, you can do that too. The next thing I wanted to go through is the starting over feature. So many of you who have been using the portal for, a year, 2 years, you have people who are interested in participating in the program more than once. And for those of you who receive, funding from CDC, you want to be able to count those people more than once. And prior to now, people were not able to re-register with the same email because the system just wouldn't allow you to use the same email more than once. So prior to this, they would have, if a participant wanted to use the portal again, they would have to go back and kind of erase everything that they had done, but that would also erase it from your, your walking reports. And it also wouldn't add an additional participant to your, any of your questionnaire reports, any of your data reports that you might need for reporting to your funders. So we added a feature that allows people to start Walk With Ease again. So this is the view of the portal for a participant if they are logged in. And as you can see, this mock participant has completed the program once. And say they completed the program in, the fall of 2021, and now it's the fall of 2022, and maybe their employer is offering the program again, and they want to take it again. So they would just be able to go to the same URL that they had been using, and if you're promoting it through that same link that you had given them before, then they should be able to get to the portal, log in. Of course, there is a I forgot my password feature. So if they've, they haven't logged in for a year and they forget it, they can use that password reset feature. So they log in, they see, oh yeah, this is, I completed this program last year. I want to start it again. So they will just click that Start Walk With Ease Again button. And essentially what it will do is take them through the registration process again. So they'll confirm that it says, is this information still correct? And they'll be able to, update this if anything has changed. They can choose a new group. So if it's the employer again, they can select the employer, or if it's just kind of the rolling self-directed, they can select that. If they have the ebook, if they had the ebook last fall, the ebook stays in their portal. So they would just, they can just continue on with the ebook. And maybe they need another print book or are getting one from someone else. So you'll be able to they'll be able to select which book they want. And then they'll essentially be taken through that registration process again. So they will fill out the baseline surveys a second time, or a third or fourth, however many times they're taking the program. And they'll be able to start it over again. So then once they complete that, they will have, once they've started the program, they've finished that registration, they start the program a second or a third time, they will have a dashboard that they will have access to within their portal. So that'll be right at the top. It just says dashboard. It's not anything complex, but it's just a way for them to remember when they took part in the program before and what they accomplished in the program. So you can see, this is an example of this person who, and these are just fake dates that from this person, they can see, oh yeah, okay, I did pretty well last time. And here was my certificate of completion, and they're able to download it again and everything. And then this is their current kind of trajectory through the program. So they can always, click on their dashboard, get to this view, and then click back and be taken back into their current progress in the program. So those are the main updates. Now I'd like to just kind of open it up for questions for y'all.
Serena, can I ask you, this is Jasmine, can I ask you about the Spanish option? Yeah. When you were talking about switching back and forth between the Spanish and English portal, would we also have to be doing that when we're on like the admin side?
Looking at our groups? No, you don't. Everything is in one place, and you'll be able to see on the users report and on all the other reports, there will be Spanish and English. So you'll be able to see them clearly.
Where are pre and post surveys automatically translated to carry over? You may have said, sorry if I missed it. Perfect, thank you.
Yep. So everything that you have in your metrics for the English portal is just automatically, we have translated them all. So if you select it for your baseline, you don't have to go in and reselect it for Spanish. It is already exactly as it is in English.
Great, thank you.
Good question, yeah. Renee says, can we set up a questionnaire question separately for the two languages? Right now, there is not the possibility to do that, no. I'm happy to put that on the wish list if that is something that would be helpful to people.
One other question. I know you said you're going to be changing the URL. Do you have a timeline on that? Just because I will also need to update our flyers we have. And I'm hoping to roll out Spanish starting in September, but I would rather wait if you're going to be doing that sooner rather than later with the URL.
Yeah, so essentially the way the URL would work is you can use what's there now. That's not going to go away. The vanity URL will just repoint to exactly what's there right now. So, and Kirsten's in charge of getting all of our vanity URLs. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we could procure it pretty quick. It's just a matter of building it into the website. So if you're ready to get going, I would just use what's there, because that link will always work. Even if we have a different link in the future link will work and the current link will work.
Okay, I'll probably put in our requests for the ebooks and then see where you check in with you and see where we are then.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, Karen, will there be promotional? Yes, we will put together some examples of promotional materials. I don't know if any of you are lucky enough to have, bilingual people on staff or, but we do not. And so we are currently having to kind of not just get what we have in English translated to Spanish. We're thinking not just of the text, we're thinking culturally. So we are working on those pieces right now. As soon as I have any examples, I'll send them out to all of you for sure. Any other questions? And as we're sitting here, I'm going to put this slide deck into it might take a little while. So in the chat, I'm putting this slide deck in there, so you can download it and have all this kind of the screenshots and the directions available. Nadia, is there a way to edit the italicized text next to the group name? Not right now. Not right now. I can put that on the wish list though. Other questions? Okay. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and click over to what we're working on now. So what's in the works. For many of you, you have liability release waivers or some sort of notice that you need for people to sign before participating in a program. So because we aren't able to kind of customize the text within the portal for each and every one of you, our developer is building in a feature where you will have the option of uploading a release waiver and then requiring that people, acknowledge that they have signed or release that. That will probably be something that pops up on that step 1 page. So they'll, put in their address and they'll have to, click on a button that says something like, release waiver, and they'll have to sign that before they can complete the registration. So she's working on that right now. She's also working on text messaging and essentially a more robust emailing and messaging feature within the portal itself. So if somebody wants to sign up for text reminders instead of email reminders, or in addition to email reminders, they can do that. We will have standardized text reminders that pop up, but we'd also like for all of you as admins to be able to do kind of your own customized text and emailing messages. And so she's going to be adding that as well. Along with this is going to be the ability to customize the start dates for your motivational email campaigns. Because right now, the way it works is when somebody completes the registration and they get to their kind of that welcome page, and I'll just go ahead and pull that up right now. They've gotten to their welcome page, which kind of looks like this. So they've completed all the baseline questions, and then they get to this piece. Right now, once they click start program, that will automatically start those emails. So if you have an enhanced group that you really want to make sure that everyone is getting the same email messages at the same time, so they're kind of staying on the same schedule, the new text and email feature is going to allow you to set a start and end date for those emails, so that you're not having to kind of rely on the participant to click on start program on the date that you would like for them to. So that's another thing that's happening right now. I see there's something in the chat. Is there a way to get a unique URL for each group? Not right now, but I can put it on the wish list. Okay. So those are the main things that are kind of in the works right now. Some other ideas, I already kind of mentioned this, was a selection of video and photo options so that you can customize the look of your portal a little bit more. Also the ability to switch a type of book. So sometimes people get the print and would prefer ebook, and sometimes it's vice versa. So we're working on how we would be able to work that into the portal as well. Any questions on those things or any other ideas for wish list? Uh-oh, I think I see that Greg is talking. Dr. Welk, are you talking?
No, I was typing those, so
Oh,
sorry.
okay. I guess it was coming up on my thing. It said, Dr. Welk talking. Okay. Nothing. Quiet group today. That's okay. I know how that goes.
Well, that feature of editing the start time is a big one for us, so thank you.
Yes, yes, that is a big one, especially for people working with employers. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't have a timeline on these things. I know, but when I ask for things, I'm like, can you do that yesterday? And so I know she's working on it as fast as she can, but probably in the next, I would say that the release waiver will be the first item, hopefully in the next month, and text messaging, I'm hopeful by the holidays, but that's going to be a really robust feature that has a lot of customization. So it's going to take some time.
I guess I'll throw out a question, Serena, just to keep things going. So what are there options for the people using the Walk With Ease portal in conjunction with the in-person version of Walk With Ease, or is it kind of separate for the self-directed? I guess I'm just curious if others out there are doing anything with in-person. We're sort of hybridizing, or we have some of both going on.
Yeah, I think there are some people who are using the portal in addition.
Okay, so it works the same way. We would just activate it, and then there'd be in-person group walking, but then they would get their educational content online instead of in person. I mean, I guess I'm curious how others are doing that, because in our in-person groups, we typically do a little education session and do a little that's in person. But if people are getting it online, I don't know if that's redundant. Maybe it's reinforcing. So maybe it's nice for them to also have the portal as well.
Right.
And I'm happy to jump in and share too what Washington is doing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So, yeah. So what we're using the portal for, majority wise, is to reach those communities that may otherwise not have access to a community-based offering of Walk With Ease, whether that be a geographical barrier, there might be some type of financial barriers, healthcare access, whatever that community-based offering might be, and whatever is not in alignment with those individuals to be able to access that. We've been using that self-directed portal to really access that particular population. We're talking like rural communities.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then we're also using it to kind of bolster just the visibility of Walk With Ease within our with our programmatic offerings as a state. And that's where our partnerships with our Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction and our employee wellness programs really coming into play. And through that, it's really opened up some doors and the ability to network and leverage our Care Connect hubs, which is kind of a statewide referral-based system that kind of popped up out of some CARES Act funding. So that's very, very new. We're hoping to see where that goes, but we are just promoting the self-directed walk with ease as a means to manage and mitigate any type of chronic disease, even outside of arthritis.
Sure, that's what, yeah, same for us.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
This is Jenny in South Dakota. I wish Nikki was still in, but she had to jump off because she can talk more about the in-person combination. But we are offering, I guess, portal registration plus usually twice a week in-person walking sessions for some of our employer group offerings that we're doing. And if you do want more information about that, I can have Nikki reach out to you directly.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, that would be great. Jenny, do you know, are they doing primarily like just walking and kind of goal setting during those group sessions, or are they actually doing a lecturette?
It's primarily walking. There is some, I guess, goal setting, motivation discussions, those types of things, but it's primarily walking.
Primarily walking. Yeah, kind of still getting that camaraderie that's so important for some people. Yeah.
I can share too, Serena, that in North Carolina recently, we promoted self-directed enhanced walk with ease across the state. And we had planned on initially just implementing it completely remotely and then having everyone join a Facebook group. So we did that, but one of the employers who was a university in North Carolina, and they wanted to add additional options for engagement in the program on campus. So they actually reached out to me and decided to offer walking groups, and they don't do any of the lecturettes or goal setting. And what they did was use it as a way to allow people who had signed up for a Walk with Ease to come together and do their walks as a group on UNCG's campus. But then they also made those walking groups available for their larger campus community. So people maybe even who weren't registered for the program could still participate in like a walking group. So that's just one other example to share.
Yeah, that's similar to, what we're envisioning here is that some groups might want to start their own walking, or there might be, but the portal is still so central to keeping everything organized. So I'm just trying to think through how to track that also. So if what groups are using that, that might be something down the road, Serena, that maybe there's a checkbox, like, are you involved in a group walk, or are you interested in group walking? Because right now, if somebody enrolls in self-directed, they think that's it. And so then they'd have like two things.
Right.
Unless there's a way to communicate through that and say to the group that you have with the private emails, like your group walking, will continue, or we have to cancel this week, or, little things like that have to happen. So there's like, I'm just trying to streamline the number of communication channels or places that people have to go.
Right. Yeah. And I think we'll be able to do some of that with the new texting and emailing feature. So if you like you just said, like if you want to send a text to everyone in XYZ group, you'll be able to do that.
Okay, that'll be great. Yeah, that'll solve that, I think.
And maybe we thinking about like, down here on so this is the participant view. Right now we have like a section for them to participate, did you participate in a live Walk with Ease event this week, virtually or in person? And they can click yes or no and add any notes, but maybe it's something, more robust than that. I'm happy to.
Can admin people type in the step counts for the participants, or is that accessed only by the individual?
Only by the individual, yeah.
Yeah, that might be another need for us, because we have them like recording it on little note cards, and I don't envision that a lot of them would remember to take that back home and type it in, but we would be happy to get it on there for them if we had a way. So maybe add that to your wish list.
Yeah, I mean, if there was ever, I mean, if they would give you their password, you could always log in for them and do it. So that's
Yeah, and a lot of systems and admin would have super admin rights that, they would be in charge of the people within there, but I guess I understand there might be privacy issues or something, but if there's a way that there could be features that they allow access, or I don't know.
Okay.
Just keep that in mind, I guess, because again, we would be happy to type that information in for them, and then if they would see their results, they could see that progress. But
right. And another thing that I know is on the wish list for some is adding steps to the goals, because some people use pedometers instead of wanting to track minutes.
yeah, okay, so you're right now.
So we've got that on our wish list too. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Serena. This is Mona.
Yeah. Hi, Mona.
I don't know if this is going to actually answer the question about Greg's concern, but I know with the portal you can set up different groups for them to log in, such as for us, we have the self-directed, and then we have the Weight Watchers, and if you were referred by your doctor, the different groups that they can actually select. So that helps us with just aggregation of the data itself when we're doing reporting.
Okay, just keep tracking them in separate groups. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is Renee Kidney from Minnesota, and I don't want to derail conversation, but if people are okay with a different topic, I have a question to pose.
Sure, go for it.
Okay, backstory. We did a social media based promotional campaign for the self-directed Walk with Ease during Arthritis Month. So the promotions were on products offered by Meta, and it was mainly Facebook, but we also had some Instagram posts as well. We ended up with a very robust sign up and participation, having well over 12,000 people, or 1,200, I'm sorry, people who participated at that time. And I confessed to being the program epidemiologist at the beginning of the call, and I've been trying to dig through the data, kind of just to try to understand who are we engaging of our arthritis population, right? That could potentially benefit from these programs. And I was looking at some of the BMI data, and I'm just curious what other people's experiences have been. I noticed that we had a lot of people, more than half, who would be classified as obese. And I just wondered if that kind of rang true to other people, or kind of what their reactions were.
Great question. I think Nadia's done quite a bit of digging, and just to put you on the spot, Nadia.
Yeah, I can share
stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, we recently were looking at the data to see similarly to you. Was it Renee who was sharing?
Renee, yep.
Yeah, similarly to you, Renee. We were looking just to understand like who's signing up for this program. And in terms of obesity, we had about 29% who self-reported being obese. So not quite as high of a percentage as you had, but I did think it was interesting. So we were comparing people who signed up through the portal versus people who participated in Walk with Ease in more of like a group or community setting. And so there were statistical significance. There was statistical significance in terms of the difference between the people participating in a community setting versus those who signed up through the portal.
And those who signed up through the portal were more likely to report being obese. But the difference in percentage was about 20% in a community setting and about 29% on the portal. So I don't know if that's helpful, but that's what we saw.
No, that's helpful context. Thank you.
Nadia, this is Teresa. Can you tell us who you targeted your promotion to? Did you have a lot of employer groups, or did you have a target audience as you've promoted the portal?
Yes, that's a great question. So we did almost, I think it was about 80% of people who signed up through the portal were coming from a state employee initiative. So they're mostly state employees working full-time.
Okay. Thank you, Teresa. That's helpful context. Yeah, our campaign was not specific or linked to a group like that at all. So it was very kind of directed by people on the internet and who they shared things with.
That's so interesting. Well, I know I'm not much of I don't know how to target ads in any of the Meta platforms, but was there any, piece of your campaign that was targeted to that group? Do you know, in the settings? I don't even know if that's an option, like to target people who search for weight loss products or something like that. I didn't know.
Right. You probably could. I don't know what all the options are, since our communications person drove those kinds of choices, but I know that wasn't part of the targeting. And initially in our campaign, the targeting was really just kind of broad age group focused. So I don't know. I don't have anything to base this on. I just wondered if maybe, the online option and a broad group of people, it gave people who might feel some social stigma to participate in an in-person group the freedom to sign up, or feeling like this might be a safer option. I don't know.
Absolutely. That would definitely be my hypothesis, or part of it for sure. But anyone else do any digging into their data and see similar trends? Okay, maybe I think a conversation around data reporting, data use, I think that would be a really helpful thing to chat about, and I'm going to put that on our list for the next quarterly call, because I feel like just having even just a kind of reminder of how to use the reporting features in the portal would be good, and then that would segue nicely into let's just chat about some of what we're seeing as we do this. So I'll put that down.
Great.
Thanks, Renee. Adam said, depends on protocols, practice, but a lot of knee osteoarthritis patients will be required to lose weight prior to total knee replacement surgery. Absolutely. Yeah, that could definitely be a part of it, Adam. Yeah. Okay, well, we're coming up to the top of the hour. I did want to mention that for many of you on this call, you're going to be jumping from this call to another call, which is the Arthritis Council Walk with Ease work group. And that's headed up by Nadia. And we were thinking that perhaps on the months where it falls, that both of these calls, the quarterly portal partner sharing call, is on the same day as the Walk with Ease work group call, that we would just combine those so you don't have back-to-back calls that are essentially kind of talking about similar things. So I just wanted to see if you could give me a thumbs up if that sounds good, to kind of combine those calls on a quarterly basis. And if any of you on the call are not currently getting the invitations for that, that Walk with Ease work group from the Arthritis Council, let me know, because then we can just make sure that you're included in that as well. It's an open group to everyone. So anyone have any kind of, no, I don't want to do that? No, I want multiple calls on my schedule. Okay, well, so in November, we will plan on having the Arthritis Council Walk with Ease work group call and the Portal Partner Sharing call coincide. And we'll probably focus quite a bit on data and reporting and trends and that kind of thing. So just be on the lookout for more about that. And I did record this call, so I will send a link to that. And I will also send the updated slide deck. If you weren't able to download that from the chat, I will send that as well. And as always, just reach out to me if you have any questions, concerns, comments, wish list items, anything. All right, y'all. Well, have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks, Serena.
Thanks, Serena.
Thank you.
Take care, y'all.
You too.